I'm confused. James Gunn is rebooting the DCEU, right? It has been just a complete disaster for like the past 13 years, and it's time for a fresh new start. Except he's making it very confusing because we already know that Amanda Waller is carrying forward into his DCU. Peacemaker is carrying forward into his DCU. Technically, we know that Weasel is carrying forward into his DCU, so he's kind of picking and choosing what he wants to bring forward and what he wants to leave behind. And right now, we have a pretty wacky character that is apparently carrying forward into the DCU. Let's read this quote from speaking to comicbook.com's Chris Killian for her new Netflix movie Heart of Stone before the SAG-AFTRA strike. Gadot said that, as she understands it, she will be developing Wonder Woman 3 together with Gunn and Safran. I love portraying Wonder Woman, Gadot says. It's so close to and dear to my heart. From what I heard from James and from Peter, is that we're going to develop a Wonder Woman 3 together. This has been my perspective up to this point. If you're rebooting DC and if you're James Gunn and you're creating your new DCU, I think you can get away with carrying forward certain minor characters. These characters are new in the DCU and that they're just being portrayed by the same actor. It can be a multiverse situation. But what I have been saying is that your main characters, right, like your Justice League, you have to reboot it at this point. The DCEU has been a disaster, right? When you have a Flash movie starring Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, starring Ezra Miller's Flash, and even bringing back Michael Keaton's Batman, and even starring Ben Affleck's Batman. When that movie cannot crack $300 million at the box office, it's over. The DCEU is dead. You have to move on from it if you want to have any hope of, winning audiences back and gaining their interest. And if you are going to carry forward somebody from the Trinity, Gal Gadot is not the person to carry forward. I mean, listen. I like the first Wonder Woman movie. I thought it was fine. But in any case, Gal Gadot isn't a good actress. I'm sorry. Kal-El, no. She's not good. And if you're rebooting, this is the perfect opportunity to get somebody in who can actually act. Will Peacemaker confuse people? Sure, it'll confuse some people. Will Amanda Waller confuse some people? Sure, it'll confuse some people. But these characters are niche enough that you can make it work. Gal Gadot standing next to David Corenswet Superman will confuse people. You cast a new Superman and David Corenswet, that will let people know, general audience is like, oh shoot, this is a new thing, this is a different thing. Henry Cavill Superman movies, those were poo-poo caca, but hey, there's a new guy, you know what, maybe I'll check it out. That's what you have to do. If Gal Gadot is a part of it, it's gonna muddy the waters. Now, it should be noted that there are a couple of other possibilities here. It's possible that this Wonder Woman 3 is an Elseworlds movie, right? A part of James Gunn's DCU is him doing Elseworlds stuff, right? So Matt Reeves' Batman universe, that's Elseworlds, not part of the main universe. Todd Phillips' Joker, Elseworlds, not part of the main universe. Maybe a Gal Gadot Wonder Woman 3 could be a part of that, but I think you should have Elseworlds be stuff that's not in the DCEU. Elseworld stuff shouldn't be hearkening back to the old universe. That is muddying the waters because that's not just an Elseworlds thing. That's a continuation of the universe that you're supposedly leaving behind. And I don't think that that'll necessarily work. Now, the other wacky possibility, again, I'm throwing stuff out there, just hope at this point. Maybe she's just like producing it with them and she's not actually starring in it, because technically she never said she was starring in it as Wonder Woman. All she said was that they were making it with her. That's almost definitely not it, but hey, maybe? I don't know. So yeah, this is some wackadoodle nonsense right here, isn't it? Listen, yeah, I don't want to miss the forest for the trees. Okay. At the end of the day, let's just say this movie comes out. If it's amazing, if it is an amazing, incredible movie, maybe it won't end up being a disaster. Maybe people will turn out to see it. Maybe it's confusing for people, but hey, if Superman Legacy comes out and it's amazing, if Creature Commandos comes out and it's amazing, and the Green Lantern show comes out if it's amazing, if the DCU projects end up being amazing and there's a Gal Gadot Wonder Woman running around, at the end of the day, I'm not going to necessarily say that it can't work, because I do think that when we talk about different strategies for creating your cinematic universe, we really shouldn't forget that at the end of the day, quality is what's going to win out. So listen, is this worrying? Abso-freaking-glutely. And not going to lie, as much as I love James Gunn, as much as I love his movies, and as much as I still am confident that he's going to put out some good stuff with DC, there's some red flags here, man. I mean, his endless praise of The Flash and hiring of Andy Muschietti to direct The Brave and the Bold, that's a rough pill to swallow, man. It is, because that means we can't really trust his judgment anymore, right? Like, when he says that a movie is amazing, he is the CEO. He has to toe the line. I mean, maybe he genuinely does like The Flash, but that's worrying in and of itself. And the fact that he went out and hired Andy Muschietti after directing The Flash, I do not think you hand over Batman of all characters to that guy. I'm sorry. Especially when this is a Batman movie that is essentially going to have to compete and be as good as, or at least comparable to, Matt Reeves' Batman? Bro. Andy Muschietti is not the guy for the job. At the end of the day, like I said, if the movies are good, the movies will be good. I think this can all work. It's just worrying to me, and I really am starting to have more red flags with James Gunn's DC universe. But hey, let me know what you think about any and all of this in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.